Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, August 3rd, 2017. Read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a good week so far. I'm filming this at about 7:30 on Thursday morning. The futures are soft to flat. Worth noting, the Bank of England announced their rate decision this morning at 7 a.m., deciding to leave rates unchanged. So I'm kind of thinking the market might digest that news in the morning and then make its move in the afternoon one way or the other. That's just my thinking. So I'm going to be interested to see how the market closes today. But with that, let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Russell Index. We use the Russell as our simple proxy for the markets overall. We want to make sure that before we put any new charts forward, we're putting them forward in a rising market environment. So we step back to take a look at the Russell on the 5-year monthly. We've been keeping an eye on this wedge pattern shaping up here. These are the monthly candles. This black line up here offers upper resistance, and this is lower support, the orange line. Worth noting, the doji for the month of July and so far for the month of August, it's only August 3rd, a little bit of a red candle. So the doji for July at this area is a bit of a flag for me anyway. I want to see how that gets resolved. We had that soft candle in the month of May, which caught my attention, but it was canceled out by June. So this doji, it is either a pause for a move higher and out of our wedge or the beginning of something more constructive to the downside. So we will see. That's the monthly chart. Let's take a look at the weekly, 1-year weekly. So here's that same upper trend line. We haven't touched that line in a very long time. You can see that it offered resistance back here in February and in April, and then again in July. The candle for the month of August so far is looking to close, is below the 8-day EMA and showing weakness. So I want to be extra careful here. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the daily. So here's the 6-month daily. We use this blue line as our guide, which is the 8-day EMA. When price on the Russell is up and over the 8-day EMA and price is displaying strength, we're putting new names forward for our watch list. But with price on the Russell trading below this 8-day EMA, we are not putting any new names forward, but I will highlight a handful of past Chart of the Day Cafe picks that you might want to keep an eye on here should the day resolve itself in a positive manner and should price pick up and move up and over the 8-day. These are ones I would be keeping an eye on, or the other outcome would be that the market continues to go lower. So I want to be extra careful here for sure. I just wanted to offer this quick addendum to why I think it's worth being really cautious here. So we've got the IWM so far trading below the 8-day EMA on the weekly chart and at that upper area of resistance as we just noted. But I've also been watching bonds, and this is TLT, which is the long bond 1-year weekly chart. This trend line that I've got drawn in here goes back a long way. Note the consolidation here for several weeks and then this move up and over that area. So I'm going to put a little area of support in here where we are now. So it consolidated for all these weeks, moved up and over, and it's trading in a little bit of, again, a wedge pattern. So bonds breaking out of this wedge here would indicate more caution coming into the market as well. So we're looking at the weekly chart, but I'm keeping an eye on this very closely. The other chart that I think is worth noting is the US dollar. We're looking at UUP, which is the ETF for the US dollar. This orange trend line goes back a long way again. So let me swap it up to the 5-year monthly. And you can see that this area was important for the dollar here, and it might be important here. So I am keeping an eye on the US dollar as well. Should we get some pickup here, it might provide some headwinds. We will see. The other chart that I wanted to show you is, of course, the VIX, which had a doji last week, indecision. It may just continue to go down, but I'm keeping an eye on it is that doji going to be significant in the beginning of a pickup in volatility? We'll see. Let's take a look at it on the daily. So again, here are my wedges, but I would say there's the VIX, and here's the, you can draw a rough wedge around price here, and let me zoom it in a bit to show you. So if volatility breaks out of this wedge and has a strong day today, that would be another thing to be aware of on the cautious side. But keeping an open mind, should price recover, I want to cover as well a handful of past chart of the day cafe picks that you might want to take a look at here. So should price resolve itself in a positive manner today, here are a handful of past chart of the day cafe picks that I think look interesting here. The first one is Facebook. We put it forward in a video here. Had that lift, came in to retest, and then had a nice run from there. Their past earnings were favorable. The volume came in, trading in a bit of a wedgie pattern up here. So should Facebook have a positive day and break out of this wedge, I think that would be interesting. Check the scores on Facebook this morning. Forecasted earnings growth rate currently of 30%, and it does not pay a dividend. Next one is eBay. We featured eBay here. Like Facebook, it's at this area of support, rough area of support, and same kind of wedge pattern. If technology and the markets overall have a good day, I would be looking at eBay for a cross over the blue. I know everyone has their own way of doing things, but I like to see a lift and a positive candle that takes us through that 8-day EMA. So looking for price action possibly to move out of this wedge and this way. eBay still has the value scores just like Facebook, strong value score and a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 15%, does not pay a dividend. And lastly, Strom Ruger, which we mentioned the other day, strong value score, forecasted earnings growth rate of 15% and a current dividend yield of 3.15. I think they're announcing earnings soon, if not yesterday. I didn't check that, but I will, and be keeping an eye on Strom Ruger today and a move up and over that blue 8-day EMA. So there are three with great value scores, great growth scores. One pays a dividend. As a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning prior to 9:30 a.m. If you like receiving them, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button on my YouTube homepage. That way you'll get the videos as soon as they're released. With that, I'll leave you. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.